I'm not a killer. I'm so far from a killer out there. I'm just a drug addict. That's it.
I know that smell. Huh. 9 station. Can we have an operator meet me on 3, please?
What you are about to see is the police interrogation and arrest footage of Taylor Elkins following the killing of William or Bill DuBois, a retired teacher who had recently begun a relationship with her. Kind of. That part is a little bit fuzzy. At first, investigators were trying to understand what had happened, but as questioning unfolds, you'll notice how the story changes, details become vague, and detectives begin shifting from listening to testing the narrative. We'll walk through some of the key moments together, looking at behavior, investigative strategy, and how certain patterns can emerge during high-stakes questioning.
I have 1 piece of mail. He said 2 nights ago he heard a really loud boom. There's an odd smell when I open the door. No flies up here. When I rounded the corner, you only get it every now and then.
What officers are responding to here is not yet a confirmed homicide. It began as a welfare check. Neighbors had become concerned after not seeing Bill for several days. When the police enter the home, they quickly notice signs that something is very wrong. The smell, there's visible blood, and evidence that the residents may have been disturbed. Investigators would soon learn that Taylor Elkins had been staying with her grandfather in the neighboring unit, placing her physically close to the scene in the days leading up to the discovery.
Door frame?
What?
Is that splatter on the door frame?
Yes, splatter.
Okay.
There's stone right there.
Oh, wow. Maybe his door was unlocked. There's no phone either.
And there's no TV in the living room. All the cable boxes. There's no TV.
At this stage, officers are still trying to establish what happened, who was last in contact with Bill, and whether there is an immediate threat to public safety. In the home, in the bathroom, they discover the very badly beaten body of Bill DuBois. He was struck, as autopsy is going to later reveal, 27 times with a blunt instrument that they later believe was a hammer.
I think we need to talk to this guy. He just got here. Oh, I told Jeff.
Told Jeff what these people.
Yeah, I talked with them over there. They said he comes over a lot and talks with them. And they said if anything ever happened to him, it would be because of somebody over at his apartment. You notice there's some red fuzz all over the place. I'm not sure what that is.
He's laying on the blanket with the fuzz I think came from. But there's fuzz in like the kitchen, like skulls on this couch right here.
All the doors in his bedroom are open. Keys, wallet, phone, stuff that normally would be laying out.
What kind of car I got? He just told me it was red.
It's a red Ford Focus. We have the tag and everything. And Courtney just sent out a bolo, did not release any information. Just said, just stop this vehicle and notify our department.
Detectives discover that Bill's red Ford Focus is equipped with a GPS tracker, which his wife Susan, who happens to live separately from Bill due to some medical issues, has the app on her phone.
Hi, Miss Susan. I'm Officer Hendricks. I'm sorry meeting you under these circumstances.
I've seen you at Northside Gates.
I have been there. Now, during you want to sit down for a minute?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
It might be better on your legs.
Yeah.
Just experience with experience.
In every death investigation, we do a complete investigation from top to bottom because we don't want to leave any stone unturned. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a retired nurse, so.
Okay. Well, and we're not saying this is a homicide at this point, okay?
No, he had a heart condition
Right.
and stroke.
And he could have fell and hit his head, but there's some blood there that we're concerned about. Does that make sense?
He probably fell.
Okay.
He
And
was
now,
acting
our-
so strange Saturday.
Here's our biggest issue. He was acting strange Saturday? Okay. Here's our biggest issue right now is the car is missing.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yep.
Where's your tracker? Do you have a tracker on that
Yes.
car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here.
As officers worked to establish who had last been in contact with Bill, they learned that Taylor Elkins had not only been staying next door, she was also found in possession of his vehicle. Now, this detail would become one of the first major inconsistencies that investigators would need to understand.
Who else is in here? Is anybody else in here? Just walk out here, right here, to the right. Thank you. Taylor Elkins. That's Taylor Elkins. Who else is in here? Go ahead and step out. No, go ahead and step out. Taylor, Officer Hendricks, obviously. Did he read you your Miranda rights?
Yeah,
He did. Like your rights to an attorney, everything like that.
I didn't even know the car was stolen.
Okay, where'd you get the car?
I already told him.
You tell me.
I did, okay, at a boardwalk, it's just like a friend. That's it. His name's Sean, but I don't know his last name.
You give him any money for it or anything?
No, like he likes me like that. We're just friends.
At this point, Taylor is not yet in a formal interrogation setting. She's being asked basic questions about how she came to be driving Bill's vehicle. Notice that she introduces a name here, Sean, as the person who loaned her the car. Now, early explanations like this can be significant for investigators because they are offered before the suspect had time to fully construct a consistent narrative. As the investigation progresses, this explanation will change, and a new figure, someone she calls Joe, will enter the story. Now, just a side note here, it later turns out that this Sean person was actually in prison during all this time, so he couldn't have been involved and he couldn't have lent her the car.
Sorry. Longer than you used to be.
Yeah, the Bob when I
I think last time I saw you, you just had the baby.
Yeah. You're an officer then.
Yeah.
What happened?
I got too old.
Wow.
Put me up faster.
He's always been old.
That's true.
I think I'm really wrong.
Man. You got it. Okay.
Now, this early part of the interrogation often feels surprisingly casual. Detectives are collecting routine evidence, in this case a hair sample, while also building some rapport. Notice how socially comfortable Taylor appears. There's familiarity here. Officers already know her from prior interactions, and that can lower the perceived stakes of the conversation, establishing this baseline.
Where the hell did this come from? Oh, they brought this into the... Okay, so when you left McDonald's, how would Joe have gotten into those two books? The door was locked. Did you give him a key?
I didn't have a key. I had the keys to the car.
Well, I mean, the house keys and stuff were on the key, right?
You got knocked on the door. And
So you think Joe ever knocked on the door? Or did you give him a key?
I didn't get a key.
He didn't. Absolutely, 100% did not have the key to that two books. What about your grandpa? Does he have a key to Bill's place? But you didn't.
I had the keys to the car.
Well, after it happened, that you didn't know it happened, but after Joe had the TV, did you go back up there and lock the door? You didn't lock the door. You didn't go back up to Bill's door.
Anybody could lock the door.
Not common. Not real common, especially when you have to have the key to lock it. I'm asking.
I'm telling you no.
Well, no, but I'm just saying this is pretty important because obviously you're the one that had a key. There's no other sets of keys. There's one set of keys. Landlord said there's one set of keys. And you had those in your possession. So, where are we missing?
I didn't lock the door.
And there was no forced entry to the duplex. Which means he kicked the door. If Bill was asleep, the door was locked. How did Joe get in?
Bill could let them lock. Bill could open the door. I don't know.
Okay. I can see somebody knock on the door. Bill opens the door. He goes in. But now it's over. He's leaving. How's the door get locked?
I don't know.
Are you just saying that?
I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. I didn't even know I had the keys.
So how when you go visit Bill, you just gonna go?
No.
You don't ever go in?
He opens it.
Have you ever gone there when he's not home?
Oh, no.
Up to this point, detectives have largely been allowing Taylor to explain events in her own words. That her friend Joe went over there and she just came back from McDonald's to find him leaving the house with TVs and stuff. But in this exchange, the questioning becomes more focused. Instead of asking what happened, they begin asking how it could have happened. Details like how someone entered or exited a locked home may seem really small, but they can quickly expose whether a narrative holds together under scrutiny. Notice Taylor's response. Rather than trying to resolve the contradiction, she appears uncertain, even indifferent about it. And this shift from storytelling to problem solving is often where investigators begin forming stronger impressions about credibility. Behavior is important because it gives investigators and us a reference point. As questioning becomes more focused, changes in tone, detail, or emotional presentation can become more revealing.
We said your mom too. Who was in narcotics. And she sold some pills to University and at the park. Remember that?
I got a show.
I had some good video of that too. I was reading down and saw her pouring the pills out of the bottle. No.
Yeah, that's all the other detectives put it. Something on her.
Is that what she said?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what happened.
Is it not?
I still got the video.
She was on there.
Yeah, okay, hang on just a second.
Notice the shift in tone here. After pressing on the mechanics of Taylor's story, the detective pivots to more personal topics. This isn't necessarily casual conversation. In many interrogations, rapport is used strategically, lowering tension so that the person being questioned starts talking freely. And these moments can feel very disarming, but they often serve a very specific investigative purpose.
Taylor, I think we're about done for today. I'm gonna walk you back over. If anything comes up, let them know you need to talk to us if you think of anything at all. If anything comes up between now and tomorrow, then we may come over and get you again tomorrow and see if there's anything else we need clarification on. Okay. You want smoke? We'll get you smoke and we'll walk you back over. Let's get smoke in. Okay. Hey man, just a minute. They're gonna take you over. All right. Anything else? See ya. Hope this all works out for you.
At this point, questioning pauses for the day. Taylor is interviewed more than once and by more than one detective during this investigation. She's given time to rest and time to think about what she wants to say next. When she returns, the version of events she offers begins to shift again.
So now what I would like to ask you for you to tell us the truth.
The truth. I mean, I told y'all the truth today, but I didn't tell y'all all of it. But I told y'all the truth.
Taylor, then here's okay, but just start from the beginning. Whatever you told us in the past, we're not going to even bring it up. Just tell us from the beginning what happened and exactly the truth, the way it happened, okay?
I did. Joe came over that night, and that's when he asked me where was your daddy lived and all that. That was true. I told him he went about Uncle with the nose of that's where Uncle is, and I told him where he lived. And he told me that he asked me what he had in the house, and I told him that he didn't have shit. Like he didn't have nothing to even do anything with. And then he told me that he's like, when you knock on the door, knock on the door. And then he went in, I left. That's when I went to McDonald's. And I came back, he told me he took care of it. And I didn't kill him, I didn't do nothing like that.
When he said he took care of it.
He told me that at the casino because I kept asking him what happened. Because I didn't want to part in it, so I was scared, I didn't want to go in there or nothing. I didn't know what happened. I kept asking him what happened, what happened, what happened. He kept telling me it was okay, that it's okay, that he finished the balls and nothing would come about it. And he just kept telling me like to get rid of the TVs, blah blah blah. He said I'm not touching them. And that's when I had Pete on him. Like I didn't know if I knew all that. I would have took his car. Believe me, if I knew he was dead like that, where he was like, I just.
This is the first time Taylor presents what she describes as the full truth. Now, notice how the story positions her as being present, but not responsible. She describes hearing that Bill had been taken care of, suggesting knowledge after the fact rather than involvement in the act itself. Emotional expression during recounting can feel compelling both to investigators and to us viewers, but detectives are also listening for consistency, detail, and whether the narrative resolves some of the earlier contradictions.
That's the truth. Okay, y'all finally got everything out of me. That's all. Let's tell one truth though. I did not kill that man. I'm not a killer. I'm so far from a killer out there. I'm just a drug addict. Listen.
In high stress questioning, emotion and narrative often become intertwined. The challenge for investigators is determining whether the emotion reflects memory or persuasion. Moments after describing the event with intense emotion, Taylor's tone changes noticeably. She becomes calmer, even slightly amused, as she insists that she is not a killer. Sudden shifts in emotional presentation can be significant in investigative settings. Detectives may consider whether emotion is tied to specific parts of a story or whether it appears selectively. In this next section, detectives are not directly accusing Taylor of anything. Instead, they begin revisiting parts of her story, asking her to explain events again in slightly different ways. Now, this type of questioning is really common in investigations. It allows the officers to observe whether a narrative remains stable over time or whether details shift when the person recounts the same events more than once. Can feel repetitive, but it serves an important purpose. Investigators are also listening for how much effort somebody makes to help clarify uncertainties or whether they distance themselves from unresolved questions.
Now, when you saw Joe after McDonald's,
Uh-huh.
did he have anything in his hand?
No. No. He came out. When I pulled back in. He came out. He had the TVs. He used to put them in the car. And like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't tell me nothing. Did he? So I'll get you at the casino later. I went to the casino, and that's when he was like, I kept asking him. He wouldn't tell me. He just told me that he took care of it. That basically everything is okay now. Basically, like, he took care of it all. They get rid of the TV.
Where did he get the TVs from?
You won't tell.
And how do you know this?
You won't tell.
And how did he get the TVs in Bill's car?
He put them in there.
Did you unlock
I had
the
the
car
key.
for him?
Yeah, that was true. He really gave me. He let me borrow his car. He really did. And I had the key. Joe knew about it, but like, I don't know why the door would be locked unless he locked it.
Did you have the keys in your possession?
I had the car key. Yeah.
And you understand a deadbolt has to be locked by a key.
How do you? I don't know how the deadbolt was locked because I didn't lock it.
Did Joe ever have the key?
We unlocked the car, but that was it. That was it. He unlocked the car with the TVs. That's
Did Joe have any blood or anything on him?
not that I wasn't looking for that. I was really actually scared than anything. I mean, it was dark. Yeah, dark clothes on. Not really. I wasn't looking for that. He just told me, catch me later.
What was his demeanor like? How was he acting?
Like a man, like just bossy. Like, hurry up, we put it in the car. Like stuff like that. Like, it was just bossy, just mean.
As detectives revisit Taylor's version of events, a pattern begins to emerge. Details become increasingly vague, and when specific questions are asked, she often responds with uncertainty or attempts to explain away any inconsistencies. Now, this doesn't necessarily prove anything on its own, but investigators are trained to pay attention to how narratives hold up when they are revisited multiple times. Another thing you may notice is Taylor's delivery. At times, she speaks very softly or unclearly. She's a little bit mumbly, which can come across as disengaged or indifferent. In interrogation settings, communication style can influence how both the investigators and the viewers interpret her credibility.
Now, so you're at McDonald's, and Joe is you and
Doing
okay, and when you get back from McDonald's, what's Joe doing?
He walked out the door, right when I was walking up. He walked out. He's like, here, put these in the car real quick.
Were the TVs still in the house or were they outside?
No, he'd bring them out. No, he actually had the car door shut. I don't remember.
And when you're at the casino and you pull up there and they carry a bag over, what was in the bag?
Pills.
That's it.
There was pills in a bucket.
How many pills?
And there's pill bottles, like 6 or 7.
As far as the casino, though, where did you guys meet at the casino?
Inside the casino.
Okay. By like a specific location?
No. Not specific.
I'm just curious how you found him.
He found me.
How he found you?
Yeah.
Do you know how he would have found you?
Guess with him? I don't know.
Because, I mean, the casino's a big place. And to find one another. Just when it rose up playing us in a couple hours, let's meet there is hard to believe.
He told me to catch him in a few hours there. I wouldn't. He came up to me.
Sudden changes in tone during questioning can make it more difficult for investigators to determine what emotional responses are connected to memory and what responses may be situational.
If you can make coffee right, I'll take that. After you can make coffee right.
You don't think I can make coffee right?
No.
That's kind of rude.
That shirt is rude.
Oh, you gotta go my shirt again.
Deception means that you're trying to deceive. You're not being truthful.
I am. I am.
I brought this in here to show you. You see that question that says R5? And that big spike on it? It means you were lying. R5 was when I asked you, were you present when he was attacked? And you said that you weren't, right? In the interview, before we even started testing, when you were telling me your story, right? You told me that you knocked on the door, and when Bill answered, Joe went in, kind of bum rushed you, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you see where I'm going with this? In the interview, you told me. You said that you weren't, and right there I'm showing you that's where you were telling us a lie. You were lying to me when I asked you in the test, were you present when he was attacked?
Not when he was killed. But attacked, maybe, not killed.
Then why would it show that you were showing deception on that one too?
I don't know what that means.
This exchange marks a clear shift in the interrogation. After being confronted with the polygraph results, detectives began focusing on very precise language. Now, notice how Taylor adjusts her wording, distinguishing between being present during an attack versus being present at the moment of death. This semantic narrowing can be pretty significant. When narratives are challenged, people sometimes redefine earlier statements in ways that create new space for uncertainty or reduced responsibility. For investigators, moments like this are less about the specific answer and more about how the story evolves under pressure. Rather than clarifying the timeline, the response introduces a new distinction that investigators now need to resolve.
Because the reading, and I'm going to show you in just a second, when I ask you, did you kill him? Your reading is stronger than that. I had to turn the sensitivity down to keep it on the chart. Now I'm coming in on the tail end of this, so it's like I told you in that room. I don't know everything else that everybody else knows. So I mean, are you feeling responsible because you set this up?
I didn't set up somebody to get killed.
What did you set up, Taylor?
If you
Here's your
robbery, basically.
here's your opportunity. You got to come clean. This is gonna send you to prison.
I didn't kill.
Hey, let's come clean, Taylor. Come on, quick.
I
quick.
am.
Okay,
Well,
you said that you said whenever you and Joe talked, before anything happened, whenever he first pulled up, and he asked you about your sugar daddy, what did you set up? You said, hey, let's go over there and hit a lick?
Basically. But
You guys just went over there with the intentions of taking what? When you guys went over there, what was your intentions of taking?
no life.
Okay. I believe you. You did not go over there with the intentions to hurt you. What did you guys go over there intended to take? His pills? His TVs? What?
Basically.
So you guys were going over there to take his medication?
I mean, yeah, I have nothing to take. But
I know in the interview you said that Joe didn't give you anything good, so I don't know what he had over there. Did he not have anything good? So what did you guys take from the house?
so, TV, tape, and the pills, but there's nothing there.
Okay, TVs and the pills.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys do with the pills?
They were away.
Where'd you throw them away at? What happened with that bag that Joe carried out from the house, the Walmart site that we talked about? Okay, you understand that he died, right?
Yeah. It's my fault, but
Let me ask you a question, and now's the time to be completely honest. Do you think whatever Joe used to kill him was in that Walmart set? Whatever he used to hit him with? Because now's a good time to, Taylor, now would be a good time to separate yourself from the robbery and the homicide. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you could help these detectives find the weapon that was used to hurt him, like that was more likely in that Walmart sack,
I don't know what he did.
here's a chance to separate yourself. Oh, we didn't mean for anybody to die. This is what was supposed to have happened. You need to tell these guys what happened.
I did tell him.
Here we see a direct challenge to the consistency of Taylor's account. She insists that she has already explained what happened, but the detective responds by comparing her current version to earlier statements, specifically that she had previously said that she never went to Bill's home. Interpretations like this are critical moments in an interrogation. They force the person being questioned to reconcile competing versions of events in real time. Investigators are not only listening to the explanation itself, they're watching how the explanation changes and how the individual responds when these inconsistencies are made rather explicit to them.
all 3 times that you've talked to me prior to right now, You said you never went over there. Now, I understand yesterday evening, I guess, when you talked to Detective Jones and Tobias, you told them that you're the one that knocked on the door.
Mm-hmm.
What time did that happen?
Don't know.
About what time?
Mm-hmm. Wait.
Before you went to McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
How long before?
12 minutes.
Huh?
12 minutes.
A couple minutes. So you knocked on the door, and of course I haven't heard the whole story, and I didn't hear this part because you've never told me this part, but you knocked on the door, and what happened?
He literally made his way in.
Okay, when you say made his way in, how did he make his way in?
Like, he goes step back and he's like, basically, who are you?
Was Bill sleeping when you knocked on the door, woke him up?
I guess.
Then you went in with him?
Not right then.
Not right then. At what point did you go in?
When he was coming to the door, I tried to go in, but Joe wouldn't let me.
What?
Mm-hmm.
At what point was that?
After there was TVs in the home.
After who put him in there?
No, I didn't put one in there. You could tell him.
Okay. Of course, all along you realized you told me you didn't do that. First you said your grandpa put the TVs in the car.
No,
Then you said, I know, but I still got to cover all this. Do you not understand that? Okay, I still got to cover this. There's no reason to be argumentative with me. I'm trying to clarify right now.
No, you're not. You're trying to accuse.
No, I'm not. Well, there's nothing to accuse. You're already in jail.
Oh, really? But who ain't?
Okay.
And here's a chance for you to separate yourself from robbery.
But I'm trying to, but everything.
Well, you're not.
But you've got to be truthful in order
And
to
I'm
do
being
so.
honest with you.
Okay, so then tell us exactly what happened. I would think if I was you, I would be saying, and this is just me talking, if I was there, you know what? Yeah, we were going to knock Bill man off. We were going to rob him. We were going to take his TV, whatever. Joe goes in, starts beating the hell out of this guy. I didn't want a part of it.
I didn't.
Okay, but you got to tell us what you saw.
He wouldn't let me go in.
Okay, but
He wouldn't let me go in.
Okay, he went and made his way in.
Yeah. He wouldn't let me go in. He said that was the door behind him. He said no. He said no. He shut that door behind him.
When he went in?
Yes.
Okay. He's talked to you about what happened.
No, he won't tell me. He told me questions get me hurt.
His what?
Questions will get me hurt.
You know he killed him. I mean, you know now. Did you know then he killed him?
No.
What did you think happened?
I didn't know, to be honest. I was so high.
So where'd you get the TV from?
And he was talking out the enemy and said, here. He said, put this one in there. And that's what it is.
Which one did you take to the car?
No. Both things I don't know.
How did he leave there that night?
He walked off.
He walked off?
Yes. Yeah.
So you see this girl standing out here a while ago? You know her, right?
Mm-mm.
You know her? You never seen her before?
I'm not going to go look at her.
I'm just curious if you knew her.
I don't know.
Okay. So where'd Joe go when he left? Any idea where he went? Was he in a vehicle?
No, he walked off. I thought he got picked up somewhere.
By who? Yeah.
Anybody.
By anybody.
I mean,
How does he usually get around?
friends. Anybody could have picked him up.
Does he trade ride for teeners or something, or what? I mean, what's he do?
Basically, like, hey, give me a ride, give me some money, or I'll do this. Like, I don't know.
So, at what point did you tell him that Bill was your sugar daddy?
Like, days before that.
And so, do you think his assumption of a sugar daddy is that he's got money and he's got stuff? And that's why he showed up? Did you invite him over to say let's do this, or he just showed up?
He just came over.
Did he ever come into the apartment with you and your grandpa?
Mm-hmm.
You went out and talked to him? Did he want to know where sugar daddy lived? And did he tell you what he was going to do? Did he say, hey, we're going to rob him, we're going to get some money so we get out?
He said that he was going to take him, but I figured rob, not kill.
Here's the deal. You know Bill better than I do. I don't know about Detective Card, but you know him better than I do. Is it possible Bill started to put up a fight?
I think a lot of young men.
Does Bill keep a ball bat or anything like that around his door?
No, I'm calling his room.
Probably this room.
Probably. But I've never seen one in there.
Did you ever see one in the bedroom?
No, but I was just guessing. He's an old man. I was just guessing.
So you've been in Bill's apartment several times. There's a red blanket in there. Where'd Bill keep that red blanket?
On the couch.
Did he lay on it? Did he sleep on the couch? Did he what?
I don't know. I stayed with him.
Well, I'm just wondering if you ever seen him over there, like if you ever seen him wrapped up in it, whatever. What was Bill wearing when he answered the door?
What? I don't know. Pants. Like, bed shorts.
Band shorts?
Mm-hmm.
No shirt?
Okay. Yeah.
Or did he have a shirt on? Do you remember?
I don't know.
When Joe rushed him, did he have anything in his hand?
Like, how it happened, he didn't, like, really, like, rush. Like, I don't know, like, he opened the door and he stepped back, and Joe, like, literally made his way in, and I was like, wait, and then he was like, no. And he didn't shut it, he slammed the door in my face, and basically told me, stay out of it, like, mind your own fucking business. And that's when I went to McDonald's. I mind my own business, like.
So who was the Dr. Pepper for?
My grandpa.
Did you take it back and give it to him?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Joe never went into your grandpa's apartment. And TVs never went into your grandpa's apartment. So Joe brings the TVs out, gives them to you. You want one of them, and carries the other one, and you put them in the car. Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you get the car?
He let me borrow it.
Who did?
Bill.
When?
I told you Monday, Grand Young, and then he was like, well, I can't let you use it tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So I will there Tuesday, and he was like, you just gotta bring it back, blah, 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 don't do nothing stupid, and just owe me. That's how old man talks.
And when did you try to take it back?
On Thursday.
On Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday or Thursday?
On Thursday.
The day that we found you over in Arbor, you tried to take it back earlier that day?
Mm-hmm.
What time?
Earlier, when I went over there.
I'm sorry?
When I went over there.
What time was that?
I don't know. Y'all keep asking me a time. Like, I don't know. I don't know what time it was.
Were you in his car when you went back over there?
No, I wasn't.
So why would you try to take his car back if you didn't have his car back?
I was gonna ask him if I could use it that day too. And if he would have said no, I'd been like, okay, well, I'm gonna give it to him.
Okay, did you not tell me in the first interview you went back the next morning to try to take him to work?
But I didn't. I got high and stayed gone all day.
Okay, but you told me you did, so you didn't?
Oh my God.
I am so terrified.
When people feel their credibility is being challenged, they may become more insistent rather than more detailed, emphasizing certainty instead of clarity. At this stage, conversations can begin to shift from reconstructing events to defending their identity. After prolonged questioning about the timeline, the detective narrows the issue to a simple binary. Either Taylor was present or she wasn't. By this stage, repeated revisiting of the same events can become mentally and emotionally exhausting. Responses like frustration, withdrawal, or statements like, "I'm done," are not uncommon in interrogation settings. For investigators, these moments are less about winning an argument and more about observing how someone is responding when the room for uncertainty begins to close in on them.
You know what I is right now? I'm not in the mood today. I've had it.
Well, I really don't give a shit if you're in the mood or not.
Of course you don't.
All right?
You're a rude person.
I'm not a rude person.
Yes, you are.
You're a rude, cold, heartless murderer. That's what you are.
No.
Look at you. You have no defense for yourself.
I'm not dust.
Because you killed the old man.
No, I didn't. I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah, you're capable of that. You're right in the middle of all of it. And why you don't think you think you're so tough?
I told y'all what happened.
You ain't told us nothing. You make up everything to point the finger at everybody else.
I don't.
You do, 100%.
I don't.
This is not going to go away. This is not going to quit.
Okay.
You're going to keep having your little nightmares that you have, and I hope you do for the rest of your fucking life. You killed that old man, and you're proud of it, and I'm going to show this to the juror, and they're going to put you in prison for the rest of your life. If you don't get the death penalty.
Like, you're screaming at me.
Yeah, I am,
I'm
but
not gonna sit there and stay into it no more.
you know what? Because you're a murderer.
No, I'm not.
100%.
No, I'm not.
100%.
No, I'm not.
You know everything about this, and you're not telling us.
I told y'all what happened.
No, every time I try to ask you to clarify something, you want to get
I
defensive.
do, but y'all, okay, but I told y'all Thursday and Friday when y'all talk to me, I'm tired.
Okay, are you high right now?
No.
Okay, so I'm trying to clarify.
That's why I was high yesterday when I talked to
I
y'all.
would think if I was fixed to go to prison for the rest of my life, maybe looking at the death penalty, I'd want to talk.
I'm trying to talk to y'all, but
No,
you don't
ain't.
talk. No, you don't talk.
No, you don't talk.
You accuse.
I'm accused of what it is because you're leading me to that. Give me something that I don't
What do
accuse
you
you.
want? I'm telling you.
I want the truth, Taylor, for one time in your life.
Dude,
I want the
I'm
truth.
telling the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
You're not telling me the truth.
You're only wanting what you want to hear.
No, I want you to tell the. You've told 8 stories you've told.
I have told. Okay.
So I need to find out what the real story is.
And yesterday I told you the real story.
What's the real story?
What I just told you today.
Okay, you never even told me that you knocked on the door till just right now.
Okay, just because I didn't tell you doesn't mean I told you.
You don't think it's
story.
important?
At this point, the interrogation becomes less about reconstructing the timeline and more about explaining why earlier statements differ from what Taylor is now saying. She suggests that not mentioning certain details does not necessarily change her overall truth of her story. Detectives, on the other hand, are emphasizing that the omissions themselves can be significant. These exchanges often become emotionally charged. As positions harden, the conversation can shift from clarifying events to defending credibility. When someone feels that their version of events is being challenged, they may focus on asserting consistency rather than providing any new details. In some interrogations, increasing pressure can lead to patterns, sometimes described as DARVO, deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender roles. That doesn't always happen in a dramatic way. It can begin subtly through insistence, reframing responsibility, or questioning the importance of certain facts.
Okay?
Is it not important, Taylor?
Okay, and I told you.
No, you told somebody else who tells me.
Okay. Well, no.
No. So why can't you tell me that?
I just did. I said it twice in front of you just now.
You think this is a game?
No, I'm getting annoyed.
Well, I'm getting annoyed too. I'm getting annoyed that this old man is dead and you're responsible for it. That's what annoys me. You're 100%. You set it up. You're the one that said let's go rob him. You just told us that.
Set up the fucking
You just told us that. Did you not just tell us that?
No, I set up somebody to get killed.
Did you set up the robbery? You said it was your idea.
Robbery, not kill.
Did she say it was her idea? That's what you said in her audio. You don't testify to. And guess what? He died because of your plan. Guess what that puts on you? You want to take a guess that you're so damn smart? Huh? It puts murder on you.
Okay, well, I didn't kill nobody. So
You did.
Anyways,
You did.
Detectives move from challenging details to directly accusing Taylor of the murder. Her response is not only denial, it also reflects a sense that the outcome of the conversation is already decided. In interrogation settings, this kind of reaction can signal a shift from explaining events to defending one's own position. The focus moves from what happened to how the person believes they are being perceived. Sometimes, under intense pressure, people respond by denying involvement while also emphasizing their own sense of being treated unfairly. And this pattern has been described in behavioral research as DARVO, deny, attack, and reverse victim offender. Point forward, detectives continue revisiting specific details. Now, this part of the interrogation can feel a little bit repetitive, and that's intentional. Investigators will often return to the same topics multiple times, looking for consistency or subtle changes in how the events are being described. When new information isn't immediately revealed, these exchanges help investigators build a clearer picture of how someone responds to sustained questioning. I've sped it up a little bit in parts just to keep it from feeling too repetitive.
How do you explain the spray tan that's on your arms?
I do it with and without. Like, I tan because I'm really white. I'm real white, so I tan. I can't tan without it.
Well, it's not even on your face, though.
Because I wear makeup.
Or your neck?
I have it on my neck. I wear makeup.
No, you got it
Like,
on the
every
bottom
day.
part of your neck, but I mean, that's it.
Yeah, because it's coming off. Like, I've been in there for a week almost. It's coming off. I wear makeup every day, so I put it on my face.
Does it wash off?
Sooner or later, it will.
It wears off on its own.
Sooner or later. Mm-hmm. Hey. Now I'm doing this over 10. Wow.
No, where'd you get the 90 pay for that stuff?
That's crazy.
What'd you get the night pay for?
It's $6.
Okay. Do you work?
No.
Okay, so how'd you come up with the $6?
My grandpa gave me 20 before I left.
Before you left for what?
To the casino.
That morning?
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa said he didn't know you left. So see the line again?
I guess so.
Well, apparently so far, Grandpa's not the one to truck her to the line.
Okay.
I just proved to you that you were lying to me.
No, it's not.
So was Joe with anybody at the casino when you were there? And you got there and you let him, was he by himself or was you with anybody?
He got me by himself.
He how you got there?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask? You have any idea? So while you were there with him, nobody else came up that was with him?
He talked to me.
Never he talked to?
Mm-hmm.
But there's different from the person that he swore the dope from.
There's guy girls.
If I ain't, well.
What they look like? You know what they were wearing. You know, you can never do that. You know what they were wearing.
Mm-hmm. He talked to an older man.
Separate from the guy and the girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got some different eyes.
Okay, do this. Help me with this one. Let's try to stick on the guy and the girl real quick. What did the guy, can you describe anything, maybe what he was wearing, any clothes that he was wearing, color of hair, how tall, anything?
Look kind of like you. Just tall.
Tall?
Old. Older.
Oh, I thought you were good looking. You said look like me. Oh, so he told. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
What is this for you?
What's he wearing?
Jeans, I guess. I don't know what he was wearing, but
Okay, what about the girl? How old was she?
you know, she's younger, she's older than me.
What color hair?
Like reddish, darkish brunette.
Similar to the girl you just seen standing down there?
I don't know.
She had red hair.
It wasn't her.
The burnt red or darker red like yours?
Towards the end of an interrogation, detectives will begin pressing for specific, verifiable details, names, descriptions, locations. When narratives rely on unidentified third parties, investigators will often try to ground those claims in observable reality. Vague or shifting descriptions can make that process really difficult. So at this stage, the focus is less on emotion or tone and more on whether or not the story can be independently confirmed. Across multiple interviews, detectives have revisited Taylor's account from different angles: logistics, timing, language, and now external verification. Also trying to catch her in a little bit of that lie where you're asked to describe somebody and you describe somebody that you've just recently seen, hence the woman that's just outside the door. This is a lot like we see this in comedies somewhere where, you're asked a name and then the person says like, oh, Joe Glass, because they happen to be looking at a glass. It is that kind of sort of trick to basically point out to her that she's essentially probably lying. And it's to hopefully kind of trip her up.
It's darker.
Is that the girl you just seen standing down there?
I really don't think that was her.
Why do you think she's here?
Mm-hmm. Why is she?
Well, same reason you're here.
I don't think that was her.
Fun's different and not an orange. Changes your whole appearance.
Yeah.
Go at the guy. What you said, he's older or younger? What close to her age? Was it closer to that girl's age? Like did you say a bit older, but older than you, but maybe 30?
No, he had white hair. Or darker hair.
And that's the only guy you've seen her with?
No, he talked to another guy. I think he had a police shirt on.
Older or younger?
Older. Everybody's older than me. I don't know. They're all older than me.
Since you're 21, and how old do you have to be to get in the casino, pretty much? 21. So everybody in there is way older than 21.
No, it's 18.
You can gamble at 18.
Yes, you can.
Oh, sure, no one.
Yes, he
This
did.
is got me 21 to drink.
Yeah. He told me he didn't want nothing to do with it, that I was stupid.
Who said that?
No.
You were stupid for what?
Think I did a pause song.
What makes you think he said that?
What do you want you to do? Trade him with a dope man or something? I mean, I got a quarter out of him, maybe.
You got how much money out of him?
Yeah.
And how much did you give Pete?
20.
So you paid 60?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do with that 60?
8 for gas and phone.
Did Joe charge you anything for getting high?
I mean, he was upset. I told him that he didn't need to want to do it.
What was he upset about that you took him to the pawn shop?
No, that I tasted that, but no, I didn't give him the money on it.
Mm.
He started acting weird after that, so I was like...
So he got pissed at you for not giving him any money?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about his result alert just for a second. Why did that show that you're lying on that cancer? What's your explanation for that?
I didn't kill him. I was like... You knock on the door, let it, put it...
So deep down inside, whether or not you want to admit it or not, you do feel responsible.
I felt responsible for it, but I didn't do it.
But you didn't mean for it to happen.
You guys were just going to hit the lick?
So what? You know Joe for how long now? How long have you known him?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks? What do you think Joe's answer is going to be to all this?
Mm-hmm.
Think Joe's going to say it's all your idea? Is Joe going to say you did it? You think he's going to be like that?
I mean...
You know him better than I do. I don't know it at all.
Probably, but that's...
Where's he like to get high at?
That's Taylor. That's one of the things.
So if that trader's locked down, where would he be?
I have no idea. Taylor, what they have to think of.
Where's he like to score at? And if you don't have to give us a name, just give us a street address, something. I understand if you don't want to give us a name, but who's he like to score off? Where does he like to score off?
The people that were in the trailer have to go.
Is that usually where he scores at?
Yeah, he like stays there.
You ever live in Barney? Anybody know live in Barney?
Me?
Yeah.
This guy named Wayne. He's a...
You know, so
He's a trailer.
he's a trade. Okay. You know anybody else? Where's the other one?
In the trailer park.
In the trade parts? You know anybody else in the trade parts? Nobody don't. What part is in the video?
Me?
Yeah.
Black Beauty.
Huh?
He had a black beauty.
So when you pull in the trade park, what have you tried to tell him?
He stopped himself right into the left, right into the trailer park, and it's like literally right there, and you're going around.
When you say a black vehicle, you know what kind of vehicle it is?
Don't put it in there.
It was like an SUV type of vehicle. It's not a car. Anybody else over here know the trade park? You know a girl named Sam?
Sam.
Oh, just Sam. I don't know. Sam or Samantha or Sammy or something like that. Does that sound familiar? Any of that sound familiar?
I know what the mantle. What's her last name?
You know what her last name is?
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. What she what was she is?
She got told on.
Oh. Sir Woodman?
Mm-hmm.
You know his name?
Yeah. I was out there. During doctor school.
You know got any Brandon?
Brandon.
And again, I don't know what I'm sorry.
My kid don't push me Brandon. But I don't know what you're talking about.
Old guy or old dude?
I was like 20.
What's he look like, you know? They're not old at all.
He's like, he has dark hair.
Did you live over there, Barney?
Oh, he might look for it.
You don't know anything about that. Nothing to wait.
Oh, for the deer.
So if you were to walk out this door right now, and you had one purpose, and that was to find Joe, where would you go look?
I'd have to work at school.
You think he'd get you up?
Probably.
He knows you're in jail, though, right? I'm sure he probably doesn't know.
He'd probably like, how you out? What's going on?
He probably asks, how are you out? Because he probably knows that you probably shouldn't be getting out then, right?
No, the bond shows that.
I mean, if he killed the old man and you were there, then he's probably going to think, well, she ain't getting out of jail.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go down for Joe?
No, I've told y'all everything.
Can you honestly tell me that you've told me every little detail?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Everything he's told you, you told me.
Yeah. I could ask him questions after he started getting rude.
After he what?
Started getting rude.
Who did, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
What did he get rude about?
Yeah, he asked me questions.
He got rude about it. You asking questions? Oh, because you're asking me what happened?
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen? Like immediately after, or when you seen him at Casino or Bolt or what?
Both. But he started like getting ruder at the casino. Telling me could ask questions.
What made you think something went bad with it to ask you what happened?
I mean, he's not telling me what happened, so something had happened. You're not telling me. You're telling me to quit asking questions. So less I know is better. It's okay. And then he started getting rude.
Okay, answer me this, Taylor. Who locked Bill's doors up? When y'all left, who locked the doors? Did you?
I could have locked it, but
Can you remember? Can you remember?
Oh, I got no keys. I know that.
But you had keys to the house and the car, right?
I mean, I had the car keys. That's the keys I had.
You know what house keys on there too, though?
I don't think so. I think he had extra keys.
And you don't remember locking the deadbolt with a key?
Mm-mm. See, I had to locking doors because I always lock doors, but I don't think I locked. I don't think I did.
You think Joe locked the door? Did he have any keys? Did you remember?
He had the car keys, but that was the only keys. I don't think those have a house key on.
What was he doing with the car keys?
Unlocking the car.
And where did you get the car keys from?
Me.
But I thought you said you were driving the car and you just pulled up.
I came back. Had the keys in my hand. I was walking up, he walked out. Before he started shouting his TV at me. And I was like, you know, because I had two hands. I have two hands.
Seen blood on Joe? Seen blood on his hands?
I wasn't thinking like.
So he handed you the TV. Did you end up with blood on your hands from the TV?
Mm-mm.
You never noticed any blood on your hands? So you don't have Bill's blood on your hands? Anything else you can tell us, Taylor? Okay. Hold tight. We'll get you back over in a minute.
But ultimately, the answers that investigators were looking for would not come from these interviews alone. While these interviews revealed inconsistencies and raised serious questions, investigators were also building a case using physical evidence. Included forensic findings inside the residence, as well as evidence that was connected to Bill's vehicle and items that were removed from the home. In homicide investigations, interviews and behavior may guide suspicion, but charges are built on what can actually be proven. In 2020, Taylor Elkins pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. She was sentenced to 40 years in prison and will be required to serve the majority of that sentence before becoming eligible for parole. Cases like this highlight how complex it can be to interpret behavior in interrogation settings. Emotional expression, changing narratives, and defensive reactions can all occur for different reasons, including stress, fear, fatigue, or attempts to maintain control. For investigators, the challenge is not simply determining whether someone appears credible, but whether their account aligns with verifiable evidence. We saw moments where responsibility seemed to shift outward and where the conversation moved from reconstructing events to defending her identity, patterns sometimes discussed in behavioral research. The center of this case is Bill DuBois, a retired teacher whose life ended in violence inside his own home. Behind every interrogation transcript and courtroom outcome is a real person whose absence is permanent. Interrogations can reveal how stories change. Evidence reveals what actually happened. Truth in criminal cases is rarely uncovered in a single moment. It emerges piece by piece. What we say under pressure may shape how we're understood, but what can be proven shapes how we're judged.